Hi guys, welcome to Chillcon 2024 here in Allestree near Derby. It's grim outside and throwing it down, so with nothing to do outside, hopefully there'll be plenty of people in today. We're about 30 minutes until doors open, so we're just going to have a quick scout around and see who's in, and then we'll be filming some footage for you over today. Hope you enjoy the video. Hi, we're here with Dan from the lionstower.com. Dan, do you want to tell us a little bit about Lions Tower?
Yeah, sure. So I've been a sculptor for over 20 years. Back in 2010, I started doing digital sculpting, and that led me to creating a miniature range back in 2016. We've been doing it ever since then. Back in 2019, we switched out to doing STL files. I've been selling them ever since, and 2020, I went full-time on it. And it's become just growing since then, really. We're just going into our first game launch this year. So we've got a game called Crystal Collapse, and that is basically going to be released to the public in May. We're taking pre-orders right now. It's crystalcollapse.com, or crystal-collapse.com rather. But yeah, most of the models you'll find on our range, they're 32mm scale fantasy miniatures. They're great for Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, other roleplay games, proxying in for other miniature ranges. But this is our first game that we've produced.
Awesome. So essentially you do the finished prints, sell those, but you also sell the STLs. Do you use your own platform? Are you out there on My Mini Factory or something like that?
Yeah, we're everywhere. We've got My Mini Factory store. You'll find us on there. We've got a presence on Cults 3D.
Okay.
We're a Lychee ambassador as well for the Lychee Slicer.
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to be featuring on their Lychee platform soon. They're going to be doing.
I know my co-host David's a massive fan of Lychee.
I am a massive fan. It's the best slicer out there for my money.
Yeah, and obviously, so you've been doing the miniatures for some years, but now you're branching out into the game market.
Yeah.
And you've got this sort of skirmish level war game based, almost board game in a way, Crystal Collapse.
Yeah.
And that's currently on pre-order, right?
Yeah, it's on pre-order until the end of April.
Yeah.
And then we'll close pre-orders. We'll go into normal orders, and we'll be shipping all the pre-orders in May.
Okay, excellent. Well, and after May, what are you just going to be retailing it through your own site, or is it going to have a wider distribution? Or
well, the plan is we've got like a living story that we're rolling out with it.
Okay.
So we'll have the story up to a point, and then we'll have seasons that we're going to release.
Yeah.
So once it's on general market, we'll probably wait 3-4 months, and then we'll do season 1. And season 1 will basically advance the storyline.
Okay.
But we're going to do it in conjunction with the players. So what we want you to do is fill in battle reports to engage with us on a website. You tell us who won, who died, where your objectives met, etc. And we'll aggregate out all of those results. Bake them into the story finally, and then we'll update the story. And the plan is we want to get somebody to be doing. There's an artist called August Nakamura.
Right.
And we want him to do a comic strip for us. So once we get the story done, the plan is to do like little graphic novels. So twice a year maybe we'll have like a little graphic novel being released for it.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely mega in the ambition. Well, good luck with that, Dan.
Cheers,
of course, links to both Lions Tower and the Crystal Collapse will be in the video description. So check that out, guys.
Lovely.
Take 2. Hi guys, I'm here with Rob from Dice Sports with his game Airflex. Rob, tell us a little bit about Airflex.
So Airflex is a dexterity-based dogfighting game. This one's it's World War II. You've got sort of contact arcs on the planes that you're allowed to touch, and rotation parts and things like that. It's quite it's quite fine skill compared to a lot of dexterity things that are out there, where they just involve sort of like smashing things around a table. So you've got quite a lot of control over the discs.
Yeah.
You're basically trying to line up shots on your opponents. You're getting automatic hits if you're getting sort of in close range or shooting into the rear of them, and you are effectively trying to outmaneuver your opponent.
I mean, everything looks beautiful, and it's a really cool. It's cool to see a dexterity game idea with this sort of theme. To be honest, because it's obviously we tend to see war games much crunchier and much mathier than this.
Yeah, I mean it's very fast. So especially if you've got people that are good at it, you get a game in 3 turns, so like 10, 15 minutes
Wow.
for a game. So a lot of the first edition stuff that went out to wargaming clubs, and they kind of have it as their warm-up game at the beginning of the evening.
It does look ideal for that.
Yeah, so you can have a good battle in 10, 15 minutes, and obviously setup's amazing as well, because you just kind of roll it out, set your dials, put your planes on, and away you go.
Yeah. So if we wanted to pick up a copy for our gaming club, you've got some copies here with you today. How are you distributing, or are these just what's left over from your Kickstarter? Is this sort of the last of it?
This is the last bits and bobs that we got from the first wave that we've actually upgraded to the second version of the game that's done with the. We stopped doing the miniatures and we started doing these like decoupage laser stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a little bit of stock here. We've got the battle packs and we've got the core games. So
okay, but and are you distributing them online as well? Have you got a website or?
Yeah, we've got the ZWarGame.com shop has got has got Airflex sets on it at the moment. That's the only place you can get it really at the moment.
ZWarGames.com.
ZWarGame.com.
ZWarGame.com.
Yeah.
And you said also there's a space version of this? Or
yeah, there's a sci-fi version that's going to be out hopefully later this year.
So that's still in development?
Yeah, we had kind of developed it and finished it, but then we decided to go back and do the same with the discs that we've done with this one, which is to go and do the like full color laser cut stuff.
Yeah.
Because that one's got a lot of bigger stuff in it and big kind of terrain pieces floating around. You've got like junkyard in space and stuff, and we just wanted everything to kind of match on the mat and look really, really nice straight out of the box. So.
And is that going to be a Kickstarter launch as well?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, Kickstarter or Game Found, I'm not sure.
Awesome. Well, I'll put links to all of the assets and websites in the video description as usual, guys, and we'll see you with the next one. Right, guys, I'm here with Daryl from Lasercut Architect. Daryl, tell us a little bit about your company and what you do.
So I produce MDF scenery for the wargaming community. The ethos behind adaptive terrain, which is what it's known as.
That's your range, yeah?
That's the whole, the range with different collections inside. The art of it is it's adaptive and immersive, so you can game through it as well as around it.
Yeah.
The idea is so you can make a massive diorama table, like you see in these Warhammer World and everything.
Yeah.
But then you can pack it down. Next game, you can make something completely different.
Yeah, the modularity really stands out in the stuff that you've got on display today.
So yes, we've got the 3 collections. So you've got your defence lines.
Right.
Something like this, you've got a nice gate, or you can make it just as ordinary, like the Aegis defence lines.
Yeah. So it's like a generic concrete futuristic.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other one is the isolated outpost.
Yeah.
So these is more your hexagonals, and you can make these, with different parts to make them bigger, smaller. However,
Oh, I see. So even the individual buildings are multi-component.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Even
so you
they
alter the sizes
down
of
to
them.
the point where you can even change the roofs.
Yeah. Okay.
This is my Kickstarter that's just finished.
Right.
So this will be due out in April.
Right. So the ranging green that we'll see in on the video, that's not available yet.
Not
but
yet.
April release.
Yes. Wastelands collection, that one.
Okay.
So and then we have your accessories, which is like crates or step ladders.
Yeah.
I mean, everything comes with a plinth, so it'll clip onto the side of the buildings,
Okay.
and then you can change whatever,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So even the accessories are modular.
Awesome. And people can buy. Do you sell direct or distribute through other channels?
All of my stuff is actually produced and manufactured and posted by Sarissa Precision. So, but if you go to lasercutarchitect.co.uk, that is my website, and you can order through there.
Okay.
And that will get everything.
And obviously, you mentioned Kickstarter a minute ago. Presumably, you do Kickstarter campaigns
Yes.
for new ranges and that sort of thing.
Correct.
Have you got any plans to go to Kickstarter, or is there anything that people need to look out for going forward?
Yes. If you keep an eye on June,
Okay.
I've come up with some new designs for these, where we're going to be like a Fortress of Redemption
Okay.
look to it.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and basically you'll be able to buy the individual bits in one kit to be able to make, but you'll only be able to get that through a Kickstarter.
That won't be general distribution.
That won't be, no.
Okay.
It uses the kits, but there will be specific parts in there that you will only get in that kit, so you can make it.
And if people want to find you on Kickstarter, are you under Lasercut Architect?
I am, yes.
That's the
Everything.
username. Yeah, okay,
Everything.
that's fine. People can
YouTube
find
channel, Instagram, Facebook, website.
Awesome. Obviously, links to everything will be in the video description below, guys, and we'll catch you later for the next one. Right, guys, I'm here with Paul from Pandyman Entertainment, who's here at Chillcon 2024 with his game Trench Offensive. Yep. So, do you want to tell everybody at home a little bit about the game, Paul?
So, Trench Offensive is a World War I, very much a skirmish war game, up to 10 miniatures, small, tight confines of the trenches. The raid has already started, they're already in the trenches, and it's about trying to free or capture the trench and maybe get away with your food or whatever rations you want to grab. It's not always about fighting, it's also about doing medical. You've got lots of different options with it as well, and we like to try and make it so that there's multiple different dimensions and heights so that you can really explore that sort of dynamic.
Yeah, the boards that you've got on display here today have definitely got the multiple levels for the interaction of height during the game. And obviously, having played a bit myself, I know that it's something that really is essential for the game to sing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think the height, allowing that sort of advantage, disadvantage with that height and in the trenches itself, allows for different sort of ways of play as well.
Again, with your rules in the game for going over the top and getting machine gun checks and that sort of thing, the fact that you could just get cut down if you stick your head over the top it's just so thematic. Yeah. But again, gives you that extra dimension of threat. You can get an advantage, but it's a risk.
Yeah, I like to try and bring narrative play into the game.
Yeah.
That way, it sort of allows for different sort of feeling as well, because a lot of the time when you're playing World War I, it's going across no man's land.
Yeah.
You've already done that. You're now in the trenches trying to grab the resources and whatnot. So
because you've got several printed or PDF and printed supplements now, haven't you, for the game?
Yeah, and we're going to be releasing French, German starter forces books as well as Verdun as well, which will be the first full campaign.
And when's that stuff coming?
That should be coming out at Salute.
Okay, which is when?
That is the 13th of April.
Okay, so not long at all.
Not long at all, yeah. We basically finished it.
And you're going to be putting that straight onto your website launch?
Yep, at launch. Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll all be ready. There'll probably be a couple of days pre-order beforehand as well.
Okay, awesome, mate. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
As usual, links to everything will be in the video description for Pandyman Entertainment's website. Obviously, keep your eyes on that for the new releases due out anytime. Hi everybody, right, I'm here with Will from AWA Game Design, who are here at Chillcon 2024 with 2 games. So Will, do you want to... 3 games?
3 games.
Do you want to tell us what you've come with today then, Will?
Wonderful. So, first and foremost is the game that we released our company with, and that was War on Terror. It's a nice scalable from sci-fi tabletop war game, scalable from tiny small skirmish games, all the way up to full-scale war game. Anything to suit your time frame or your board size or your fancy. The next games we've got on show that we're going to be demoing soon is a board game called Trade and Turmoil. It's a resource management piracy naval strategy game. Absolutely sink hours into it. Great fun. And a good one to, waste a weekend on. Waste away any weekend away.
Yeah.
The next one is a card game for the younger generations, but also brilliant for adults as well because of all the puns. Everybody loves a pun.
Okay.
It's called Cute Ninja Combat Cats. It's a fast-paced, kids card game based around the suits, the deck. And,
quite light-hearted, family-weight game.
100%. Essentially a child version, friendly version of poker with attack and defense cards.
Got you. Right.
It really is great.
Brilliant.
I can't wait to show off more of the cards.
So both of your board game designs are buyable now, or
not
these
buyable now?
Right.
So Cute Ninja Combat Cats is going to go to Kickstarter next.
Right. Okay.
That will then. That's later on this year. Unsure yet, but
okay,
the Kickstarter page is up.
that's fine.
For people to
so
subscribe
people
to.
can put on the notify me when this launches.
Absolutely.
Right, we'll
And
put a
trading-
link in the description for that, guys.
And then Trading Turmoil will be later on this year, if not start of next year, but we've got many, many more games coming.
Okay, Trading Turmoil looks quite a heavy game from some of the numbers on these player sheets. Is that what it is, a heavy style Euro trading game, or what's the main thing with it?
It does look that way. However, once you get your head around it, and that doesn't even take long either. We play tested it with some family members who weren't seasoned board games. They picked up within a turn or two and actually started dominating the game, which is made me very jealous.
And it is a trade-based game rather than a conflict.
You don't have to trade at all. You can win the game by doing completely conflict and piracy. Just piracy in general. So you don't have to just trade. But if you're a peaceful soul, then absolutely just trade as normal and
so
avoid
multiple
conflict.
routes to victory and really a real sort of design your own play style.
Absolutely, yeah.
Interesting.
So every player starts off with 2 ships.
Yep.
And each ship has a single mast, which means it's level 1.
Yeah.
Throughout the game, depending on how much resources you have, you can upgrade your ship. All you got to do then is put a little mast in a little hole. And then level 2, level 3, level 4.
And is this available for retail yet, or is this another one that's coming to
Kickstarter?
This
is coming to Kickstarter hopefully toward the end of the year.
Okay.
If not, like I said, at the start of next year.
Okay, right, okay, awesome. And is there any sort of like demo games, or is there any stuff on YouTube for people to check this out?
Not yet. This is the first time we've kind of
it's
shown
really
it off
a
to the world.
sneak peek.
100%. The game is complete.
Right.
Same as Cute Ninja Combat Cats. The game is complete.
As far as you're concerned, they're ready. It's just a case of getting the ducks in a row.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Getting them onto Kickstarter, and getting that backing, getting people signed up, and then hitting the world.
Okay, let's come back to War on Terror, because I know you recently ran a Kickstarter for this, and it was very successful.
Yes.
For you.
Yeah. Last May.
So where are you at with War on Terror in terms of retail releases and product people can buy? Where can they pick this up?
So sadly, still not available online or to purchase.
Right.
Because we are still fulfilling the Kickstarter pledges.
Okay, that's fine.
What's incredible is that today, 7 lovely people who backed us last year on Kickstarter are here at Chillcon. Okay. And we have pushed through their boxes so we can hand them off to them today.
Okay, that's good.
It feels amazing handing the Kickstarter boxes out.
Fine. So you're basically in the process of fulfillment on that now?
100%, yeah. I'm going to say next month or 2. Yeah. If we don't have the boxes ready to send out in the next month or a month and a half, something's gone drastically wrong and one of us has died.
And then what's your plans after you've fulfilled your Kickstarter? Are you going for just like a manufacturer and distribution model, or what's the plan?
So essentially we'll do a soft open for the shop online.
Okay.
And then we won't explode to the world. And we're going to have a slow build, a slow journey for War on Terror.
Okay.
We'll put an email out to everyone who's subscribed.
But you are planning to do that? It's not just going to be a Kickstarter model where people will come back for a second bite of the cherry later or anything like that?
We've got dozens more attachments and models in design process and designed and ready.
Okay, cool.
To help reinforce your armies.
Yeah, and increase your product range.
100%.
Okay, awesome. Well, best of luck with that, Will.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for today. As usual, everybody, all the links will be in the video description below.
Cheers, buddy.
I'm here with Matt of Pick Your Path Adventures. Matt, what are you here today with?
We're here with the game books. They're classic style, so if you like the old Fighting Fantasy, Lone Wolf style, it's very similar 2d6 fighting system. Try and fight as many monsters as you can and try not to die. And if you do die, cheat.
I mean, you talked earlier about, we were just having a chat, and you said there sounds like there's some quite sophisticated mechanics in the books over and above the stuff that was in the Fighting Fantasy books.
Yeah, that's great. You can collect weapons as you go through as well, but the weapons have a durability, so they degrade as you read them, as you use them. So you kind of have to choose where you want to fight, who you want to fight. Are they worth holding on to? Are they worth saving? Okay. You can ally in people as well. But the people that you meet in there are never really presented as allies. So you're given the chance to talk to them or to fight them. Some you might want to fight, some you might want to not fight, and they might ally into your group and you can use them. So it's making choices all the way through.
That sort of scenario did used to arise in the Fighting Fantasy books, but it was always like coded within the narrative and within the number choices.
Yeah.
And you've got a mix of some of it's encoded in the core mechanics, but some of it's like that more in the narrative choices and that
Yeah,
sort of
exactly. So yeah, as you choose to go through, you will either kill them before they join you,
Yeah.
or you'll make the right choice and you'll get offered the choice for them to kind of join up with you, and
Awesome.
then you use their stats to help you fight.
And you've got 4 standalone titles currently.
Yeah, there's 4 so far. So there's the Escape from Sherwood, which is you're one of Robin Hood's henchmen, fighting monsters to try and catch the Sheriff of Nottingham. The Desolate Tomb, you're a tomb raider under an ancient Egyptian tomb full of mummies and gods and half man, half hippos. The Beast of London, which is very Victorian Gothic, so vampires, werewolves, that kind of thing. And then the Fall of District U, which is cyberpunky, futuristic androids, robots.
And you're not really, it's not a cohesive universe, it's not a campaign thing. They're all very much standalone, self-referential things.
They are. They use the same system, but that you can read them in, completely standalone. I know some people have carried on their character all the way through them. Not sure how the las cannons from Fall of District U will work in the Victorian London, but that's up to them. You read them however you want to.
Yeah, sure, cool. And how can people get hold of your titles?
So you can buy them from my website, which is mattbeaton.co.uk, or you can get them from Amazon, WH Smith's, Waterstones, anywhere where you buy books. If you stick in Pick Your Path Adventures, they'll pop up.
Awesome. Thanks very much for your time. As usual, everybody, all the links will be in the video description below. Right, everybody, we're here with Ethan from Nervosa Games at Chillcon 2024. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're here today with, Ethan?
Yes, thank you. Nervosa Games are here today to show off our first independently produced prehistoric war game called Tribal Conquest. It's a skirmish-sized game where players control a tribe led by a magical shaman to fight on the battlefield. They can do this using brawn and might or magic, or they could even attempt to convert enemy tribesmen into their tribe peacefully.
Right. And it's a generic prehistoric setting. You're not going for anything real world or...
No, it's so far back that you couldn't even prove any of this happened.
Yeah,
although
sure.
it definitely did, because it is prehistoric. Yes, so it's very generic. We pull from a few influences and whatnot, and you'll be able to see that in our minis. Okay. But it's a nice vanilla almost setting that you can put any skin on you want.
Okay, and it's designed to play on what sort of table size?
So depending on the size of the game, smaller games play on a 2-foot square. As you get bigger, it goes up to a 3-foot square, and then with expansions you would just start at 3 feet, because they get a bit bigger anyway.
And what would you estimate your game length is approximately for a full game?
Again, depending on size, but the standard size is 20 models per side, and you can get through that in about an hour.
About an hour's play. Okay, cool. Now, how are you actually marketing the product? Is it box sets or...?
Today we have bundles, but we are working on a full 2-player starter set that will... It won't include everything that's in the bundle, but it will have a full experience in there, hopefully including dice and tokens as well. Right now, as we're in our infancy, we've only been launched since November.
Okay.
We are just selling the bundle of what we have right now.
Okay, so the 2 bundle boxes... they've got just a selection of models and a rulebook.
Yes, so the intro bundle has our first wave of miniatures. They're all what we would call the essential miniatures to the game. So the Braves, the basic warriors, the preachers, and then we have the release bundle, which adds in the almost more flavorful miniatures, so the outcast, the axe warrior, the hunter, the elder, all that do very specific jobs within your tribe very well, but if left unsupported are very vulnerable.
Okay, and there's enough miniatures in those boxes for 2 players to play together?
There are 2 shamans in there. One of our standard shamans is always in there, and then we include a promo shaman that you can only get within these bundles in the box.
Okay,
essentially making it
like
pseudo,
a unique model for that set.
Making it a pseudo 2-player starter, just without the dice that you would expect.
And as apart from the bundles, how else can people buy the models, etc.?
You can buy them in packs of units, and they're usually packs of 2 or 3 models, depending on what the unit is, and you can get them at Nervosa.games, which is our website.
Awesome. In terms of, I think we spoke about it before, but you haven't got factions for this necessarily, have you? Each warband uses the same pool of models?
Every tribe pulls from the same pool of models, but one of our planned expansions is campaign play, which will allow you to add a bit more character to your tribe, boosting certain models and making other models weaker,
Awesome.
maybe even giving access to specific models only tribes of that path may have access to.
Okay. And is there anything that's coming up new, as in just on the horizon for you in terms of releases, or anything people should look out for?
Our next, we've got 8 expansions planned for the game over we're calling it a 2-year life of support anyway. The first 2 expansions we're planning are Terraforming, which is a spell book that allows you to change the battlefield as you play on it.
Yep.
And Neutral Models, which will add in wildlings who are members, people that are not members of any tribe who you can convince to join your tribe, along with wild animals and people that can tame wild animals.
Right, and again, that gives player interaction on the board.
Yes, it does.
Okay, as usual, everybody, all the details will be in the video description below. Hello, everybody. Right, we're here with Toby talking about a game called Takur from Rampa Design. Now, tell us a little bit about Takur then, Toby.
Okay, so Takur is held in 2090, where the mega corporations have bought out the world and we're always building up and up and up, and there is like civil unrest. So the corporations decided to bring back a sport from the old times, make it more modern, more fresh, and to accommodate in what little space we have left. And so they created Takur, Cyberpunk Rugby, where it's played on a small 2-foot by 3-foot field with 4 players a side, and it plays very similarly to Infinity with a very dynamic activation system going on.
Yeah. I mean, looking at your pitch, you've only got effectively, 3 zones for movement, or is it tape, measure, inches based?
It's tape, measure, inches.
Oh, I see, right, yeah.
So
Okay.
it's all inches based, no grids, no squares.
No grids or
nothing.
squares, that
Yep.
makes sense, yeah? That's cool. A bit like Guild Ball.
Pretty much like
Yeah,
Guild
yeah,
Ball,
yeah.
except being rugby, you have to follow the 3 laws of rugby, which is 1, you can only pass backwards.
Okay,
2, you can only tackle the ball carrier.
yes.
And 3, if you're tackled, you can't stand up. You have to either pass the ball or wait for a friend to receive the ball from you.
Before you carry on playing.
So it's kind of like more of a sports simulation rather than like Guild Ball or Blood Ball where you go in and punch people.
So basically think cyberpunk, super aggressive rugby, and people get the idea.
Oh, yeah. Along with cybernetic implants and such.
How many factions have you got in the game?
There are currently 5 at the moment.
So 5 teams.
5 different factions, 5 different teams. However, this year we are in the works of getting a 6th team out there.
Okay.
So keep your eye out for that.
Okay.
So the teams that come in the box, you have the Terriermorphs, which is basically, think of it as South Africa, your Springboks. They are your superstars that are there for the glory to win the Takur League.
Yeah.
And then you have the Yakuza, or the Yamato, which is your Yakuza team.
Japanese gangsters, basically.
Japanese gangsters who are doing political intrigue both on and off the field, trying to take out key personnel or key players.
Okay, awesome.
The 3 other teams we got the team in orange over there, the Dorican, which are your speed freaks. They are super speedy and super nimble, so they can dodge around people very easily, but they are there to cause anarchy within the league. To combat that, you have the SIC, which is like your undercover police corps, which are there to stop all this shenaniganery from going about. And then you have the Islanders, which are, think of it like your All Blacks or your Fijians, where they are there to uphold the integrity and the tradition of old school rugby.
Okay, and you said there's 4 players on each side for the teams. I noticed there's more than 4 models for those factions. Is that because there's like a flexible roster and you can bring any 4?
Oh yes, there is. I mean, when you build your team, they have like fixed positions. So you have like a wing. So you have a winger, a scrum half, a fullback, and a forward. But your flex slot players, you have some players that can change into either
one or the other, or be another position,
or in all positions.
Okay.
So you can swap out, say, this player, and have a player who can either be the winger or a fullback, or can be a jack of all trades.
And is there any points association, or is it literally pick any 4 from your pool?
Just pick any 4 as long as
you've got your legal positions covered. Excellent. Now, how long does the game play roughly?
So for a beginner, I would say it takes up to about 2 hours to get your head round to learn.
Yeah.
There is also in the rule book, it's sort of like a first play me first or read me first kind of guide where it runs you through like drills and exercises to get you more familiar with the game.
Yeah.
But once you and your opponents are familiar with the game can last pretty much up to an hour and a half.
Okay. And it's a 2-player starter box with fixed contents.
Yep.
and then you pick up the extra teams or the extra models singly, or how are they released?
So for the 2 teams that come in the box,
yeah,
you only get the 4 models, and you get the extra models separately on their own. But for the other teams, you just buy a team and it contains everything they need. So
right, okay.
So the 6 models, their stat cards,
it's
and
in a
team
box.
cards.
Yeah. Okay. Right. And how is this distributed? Is it on sale on just your website, or do you use third-party retailers?
So far at the moment, it's only on the AWA Design website.
Okay.
They have a Shopify page as well, and that's the only place where you can buy them at the moment. But we are looking into trying to get UK distribution, and maybe even around Europe, because it is originally from Spain.
What are your miniatures? Are they 3D prints, resin casts, or?
Oh no, they're metal.
They're metal.
They're metal.
Oh.
Old school metal, the way we
awesome.
like it. But we are looking into doing resin print models as well.
Yeah, I mean, for somebody who's younger than me, that might appeal. I mean, I'm not scared of metal. Obviously, I'm of an age.
Neither am I.
So,
I love my metal.
Yeah. No, thanks very much, Toby. As usual, everybody, all the details will be in the video description. Hello, everybody. Right, we're here with Ben from Night Phoenix Games.
Hello.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're here with at Chillcon 2024, Ben?
Yeah, so we're here with my first full game of Monolith, which is in very late playtesting. It's a solo skirmish game with campaign that you can design your own dudes, you can design the enemies with a social solo aspect where your buddies can design the enemies for you. It's all about getting the most out of your miniature collection, trying to push your luck with one mission to the next, and beat the campaign before the factions that you put yourself against beat you to it.
Yeah, the push your luck element sounds really cool, actually, where you've got to decide whether it's time to recoup your losses and rest, and let the AI level up with ahead of you, or to just play on. That sounds, because sometimes with solo games there isn't really that jeopardy, which adds the tension. So that sounds like a really good idea. Now the demonstration board you've got set up here is like a 12 by 12 square or 12 by 16, something like that.
Yeah,
is this your ideal play size, or is it very flexible, or what?
This is super micro. It's designed for 3x3.
Okay.
Because all the missions are procedurally generated, I needed to set a space limit.
Okay.
So 3x3 fits on most tables.
Yeah.
But then the way you enter a mission, the way you exit, the way the reinforcements come in. Oh yeah, by the way, reinforcements are always coming into a mission.
Sure, yeah,
so
which makes sense.
You need to do an objective and get out. So you can use any terrain you want on the table. And there are many objectives you can have, and every objective you can half complete or full complete. So again, there's that push your luck within the mission itself as well.
Yeah. And like you say, rather than there being a library of, say, 10 missions, it's a procedural system, so you can generate virtually infinite options.
That's it.
Excellent. And if people are interested in finding out more, where can they go?
So we're on Wargame Vault under Night Phoenix Games, where there'll be a full playtest kit released in the next couple of days. They can also find us on Facebook and Discord on Night Phoenix Games.
Awesome.
Where we'll be pushing Monolith.
Right, guys, as usual, all details will be in the video description below. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. This concludes your Chillcon 2024 coverage for this video. This video is obviously just the selected highlights we thought might interest you most. There was tons more at Chillcon, including painting competitions, demonstration games, and a ton of retailers selling their wares. If you're interested in any of that stuff, the best thing to do is to check out our live stream, which is in the live section of our YouTube channel, that went live on the 21st of March, so the Thursday following the actual Chillcon event, when we discussed all of this stuff in detail. So please remember to like, share and subscribe, and leave your comments down below if you went to Chillcon, or if you're going to be going next year based on what you've seen, or if you like the look of any of the games that we've covered. And we'll see you on another video. Goodbye.